All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. My name is Eric Paulzine with 905 Sports. Going to be touching on the Sunday Night Football Showdown picks. Also going to have some prop bets for you guys, courtesy of our sponsor, SportsBell app. Just kind of looking at right now, just right off the bat, the over receptions is pretty nice. So I'm looking Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions, Deontay Johnson over 5 receptions, Jalen Waddle over 5 receptions, and you can even go like Chase Claypool, George Pickens over 4 receptions. The point that I'm trying to get at is I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. And we do have a decent amount of receivers in this game that are very appealing. Okay, so DFS-wise, that's huge. Prop bet-wise, that's going to be huge as well. All right, so if you guys want to make those props, you can as well. Use the promo code 9TO5 on SportsBell app. And they are running a promo, too, for users that have already downloaded it. If you make a deposit, you get 20% match as well right now. For any new user that uses the promo code 9TO5, you already get 100% match plus $5 cash back of your original $50 deposit. So take advantage of that. Also, we have Stat Hero as well, which is another 9to5 sponsor. And they have 3 different game types. They got head-to-head, which is my favorite, and I'll touch on that. They got Pick'em and Survivor. So for the head-to-head, I'll post a picture. This is the lineup that you have to beat. And I like going with Tyreek Hill and Deontay Johnson instead of Tua and Kenny Pickett. So take advantage of those options that are out there, guys. For Stat Hero, use the promo code 925, numbers 925. Okay. Now let's get into the DraftKings side of this video. So looking at it, I'm going to start off a little bit differently than I typically would because I do think this is somewhat of a straightforward slate. I've mentioned this a bunch of times already this season. The offense for Miami runs through Tyreek Hill. We just see that with the amount of targets that he gets each single game pretty much, except for Buffalo. Buffalo's a tough matchup, okay? We knew to be worried about that Buffalo matchup. I guess against the Jets, only 7 targets, but that was a little bit different. You had Teddy getting injured early, and then Skylar Thompson having to come in and fill in for him. Kind of threw out the game plan, I think, a little bit. The fact of the matter is we can get a receiver that's going to get maybe 15 targets in the game, okay? And a lot of short dump receptions, okay? Dump off receptions. He can get like 10 receptions easily, okay? That wouldn't be too shocking. So I just feel like he is going to be a must play this game. The biggest issue I'm having is I really want to fit Tyreek Hill into my captain spot because I think he can really blow up this slate. It's just tough to fit him in there. And I know this is like an obvious play, but sometimes you need to touch on the obvious plays. And then Deontay Johnson, I'm really shocked at this AK price point tag. He's cheaper than Tua, which yes, he probably should be, but he's cheaper than Pickett, cheaper than Najee Harris, and even cheaper than Jalen Waddle. Barely more expensive than Raheem Mostert. Like, this guy is a target hog. We've seen multiple games in which he had over 10 targets. We've seen last week against Tampa, a tough defense, 7 targets. We saw against Buffalo, a tough defense, 13 targets, was still able to score 11 DK points. This is by far his best matchup, maybe this season, honestly, guys. Miami's defense has not been that good, and the Steelers have had some tough matchups. So if he's going to continue to get those targets that he has been getting, like, he should be able to go off and get like 16 to 20 DK points in this game. It should be a very safe play for you as well. The price point's cheap, and he should be able to go off and have a stellar game. From there, I do think we're choosing between Chase Claypool or George Pickens. It's really either or. I have been kind of defaulting to George Pickens a little bit more just because I feel like the targets are more secure. With Chase Claypool, what they've been doing is they've been doing kind of design plays to get the ball into his hands. We've seen a couple of rushing attempts that way. We've seen a couple of screens that way. So sure, they might have more design plays for Chase Claypool, but I think the targets themselves for George Pickens are going to be there. So like the 6, 8, and 7 targets that he's seen in the last 4 games, I think will continue to be there for him. So I think he'll be a fine play. And then Najee Harris, he can definitely get there, guys. Like, the targets should go up a little bit more, especially if this game is going to be a higher scoring game like I think it's going to be. So like, he could be in play at 8.2. I don't mind that. He has been like a safe producer DFS wise. I do think it's a little bit priced up. I do think it's a little bit touchdown dependent as well. And that's the same thing for like Raheem Mostert on the other side of it. So Raheem Mostert, the last 3 weeks, his snap count went from like 72, 69, and 62%. I do think we're going to see them start to limit his workload. The interesting thing is like, which running back will it be filling in for him workload-wise? If he's only getting 65% of the workload, let's just put it that way, will it be Chase Edmonds getting 40% of the workload like he did last week? That's the biggest question I'm trying to answer on tonight's slate, because if it's not, it could be one of the other running backs. Like Myles Gaskin had more snaps than Chase Edmonds 2 weeks ago, but I do think it will be Chase Edmonds. And so for me, honestly, guys, on this slate, I just don't feel the need to play Harris or Mostert. Could they score a touchdown? They easily can. Okay. And then from there, I do like the idea of playing Jalen Waddle in the captain spot. Now he's currently listed as questionable. I think he's going to play. Okay. And the reason I like Jalen Waddle in the captain spot, because he has, I don't want to say just as much likelihood to break the slate as Tyreek Hill, but he has just as much ceiling, I think, as Tyreek Hill to break the slate. Tyreek Hill is definitely more safe as a play, okay? But in terms of trying to find a captain that can break the slate, I do think Jalen Waddle gives us just or near just as much upside as that. And so the difficult part is the two quarterbacks on the slate, because obviously they both have great matchups. Obviously Tua has had one huge game against a easy matchup. You look at New England, tough matchup, still did fine. You look at Buffalo, tough matchup, good enough. Cincy got banged up, couldn't finish the game. Not much we can take away from that. So this is going to be his best or second best matchup of the year thus far. So it really wouldn't be shocking to see him go off. But coming off of that huge head injury and kind of just some weird stuff happening, I could see him not having as sharp a game as you would want him to have. Then on the flip side, Kenny Pickett also coming back from a concussion as well. Kind of strange there. I do expect him to start. He could be someone that rushes the ball a decent amount. He has looked good rushing the ball when he's needed to. I could see him getting 5 rushing attempts for 40 yards or something like that. Needs to be a little bit more efficient passing the football. But once again, this is a soft matchup going against Miami, so that's certainly within the realm of possibilities. I don't like the idea, but I have been fading those two quarterbacks. Not sure if I'm making more than one lineup. I'm going to stack it with both quarterbacks each way. If I'm on more Miami Dolphins players, then yes, I'll try to fit Tua in there and maybe fade Deontay Johnson. We're going to do that stuff. But if we're just trying to make one solid build, I've been struggling with it. I just happen to fade them. So from there, I do think the best value on the slate is going to be Trent Sherfield. He is the cheapest discounted play that you can get for a guy that's playing a majority of the snaps. Trent Sherfield has played 62, 66, and 67% of the snaps. The targets have kind of been there. 6 in week 4, 2 against the Jets, and then 4 against Minnesota. Okay, if he's going to be on the field that much, that's the big thing for me. I just like that. I like that there could be opportunities there for him. They're not guaranteed, but the amount of snaps he's playing could mean that those opportunities are going to be there for him. At 4.6, that's a risk I'm willing to take on this slate. And then from there, if we're trying to close out this specific build, we could certainly go with one of the kickers. I don't hate that, but Pat Freiermuth is expected to be back in this game, and he is someone that was kind of a security blanket for Mitchell Trubisky. 10 targets in week 1, 7, 4, 2, 9, and 2. It wouldn't be shocking to see Freiermuth get to 10 DK points. So if he does that at 5K, we'll certainly take that. And in this matchup against Miami, it's not a matchup that you're worried about. I don't mind the idea of playing him. Not someone I'm going out of my way to play, but in this scenario where he's the last one that I'm closing my build out with, I'm fine with it. I can see that happening. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at for a first look build, at least for the Sunday night football game. As always, guys, if you enjoy this coverage, please make sure to like and subscribe. That does help out the channel a lot. If you guys want to become a 9to5 member, maybe you want to use the lineup optimizer for the Sunday night football game, maybe max under, maybe put 20 lineups in, maybe build some unique stacks. You can do that. It's part of the membership, the 9to5 membership, which is $10 a month. Pretty good value out there. It is mostly a golf membership. I always want to tell people that. I do have the NBA DFS cheat sheet out with that, as well as NFL DFS cheat sheet as well. So check that out if you want to. If not, like and subscribe. That helps the channel out. Let's have a good slate, guys. And as always, let's keep cashing.